Welcome to the Chaos Makes Sense podcast, brought to you by Smarter Chaos, where online performance marketing is all they do. Now, here's your host.
It's a great day, I'm feeling good. Oh.
Hi, I'm your host, Kimberly Henry, and I'm here with Matt Frary, Chief of Chaos from Smarter Chaos, and Brian Littleton, CEO and founder of the Share a Sale Performance Marketing Network. And today we will discuss the question, will the Amazon tax kill the affiliate marketing industry? Now, before Matt and Brian join us, just a reminder that if you have questions or require assistance with your online performance marketing, you can reach Matt and the team at smarterchaos.com and on Facebook at facebook.com/smarterchaos. Matt, it's great to talk with you again today.
Hey, Kimberly, thanks so much. I'm really excited to discuss this topic. This has been a really big topic for us here in Colorado, and can't wait to get started and see what Brian has to say.
Yes, and welcome, Brian. Great to have you with us.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me. It's definitely something that I've been working on for the last several years. So excited to talk to you guys about it.
Excellent. Well, before we dive into the questions, I want to check in with you, Matt, and just see what's going on at headquarters these days.
Well, we just came back from the Capitol, like we're going to talk about, where we were banding together with affiliates and trying to fight a tax that's going on in our industry. So, that's probably the big topic around here. Launching a few clients recently, just trying to give the best service that we can give. Other than that, it's a lot of skiing.
A lot of skiing, great. Well, you got to get it in while you can because we've only got a few more weeks, right?
Yeah, they just extended the deadline at Breckenridge, so we actually have until the end of April now. So there's been so much snow. There's almost 400 inches of snow up in Breckenridge, Colorado. So those of you that want to come out and enjoy the white powder, you should.
Yeah, excellent. It's an excellent time of year for skiing, too. Beautiful. Now, Brian, can you kind of fill us in? What is the PMA and what is the role of the PMA?
So the PMA is the Performance Marketing Association. It was formed just about 5 or so years ago with the goal of trying to have a trade organization for our very specific industry, which is performance marketing. We're very different from display advertising, so to speak. We're very different from kind of the more traditional, older versions of advertising, even online. So we wanted to have a group that really represented our interests. And over those years, a lot of those things have really revolved around these affiliate Nexus taxes or Amazon taxes, whatever you want to call them, as they've started to pop up. So while that isn't our purpose, it's been a focus for that PMA for the last 5 years or so.
And what is your role within the PMA?
I was elected this year, or a year and a half ago or so, as the president of the board of directors. So I am currently serving that term along with 12 other board members who are kind of shaping what we do and what we come up with, decisions, all that kind of stuff.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I think the PMA is playing such an important role. I mean, I know that I should have joined many, many years ago, but, we just became a member as well and are trying to support the best that we can. But Brian's really got that background in the industry going back. I mean, Brian, when did you start Share a Sale, for example?
It was in the year 2000, so about 14 years ago or so.
Yeah, I remember in 2001 actually running one of my campaigns, 123turnkey.com on Share a Sale, and even back then, I mean, Brian was pioneering the industry, and now the perfect person, really, Kimberly, to be in charge of the fight. And as we all band together for all the various purposes, right now it seems like we have a very specific fight in mind right now. But with the PMA. Helping set standards, best practices, the members really guiding each other. There's so much value to be gained out of joining the PMA, which actually, if anybody wants to join the PMA, you can go to thepma.org.
Oh, great resource. Before we jump into the Amazon tax, which is, the primary focus of our discussion today, Brian, hearkening back over your 14 or more years in the industry, how have you seen things change?
Oh, it's been really interesting, actually. I knew very little about the industry when first getting involved. I was a technology builder, a programmer, website developer, that kind of thing. And so I approached it from that angle, and it was fun to learn all the different things along the way. And you think back 14 years ago, and affiliate marketers were, there was a large contingent that were single page builders, landing page builders. I believe they called them gateway pages back then even, and recruiting those types of folks. And then over the years, how it's changed to maybe include some of those, but also involve product-based sites, kind of the evolution that data feeds have come through. And then obviously the most recent with the addition of content bloggers into the world of affiliate marketing and performance marketing has just made it's so wide now at this point. You have to understand so many different things in order to really participate as either a network or an agency and really optimize everything across that whole landscape of marketers.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the hardest questions to answer today, don't you think? It's that idea, what is an affiliate? Even when we were at the Capitol in Denver, I guess that was last week, listening to lawmakers actually try to use the word affiliate appropriately, we sort of giggled and were mortified at the same time because they actually couldn't explain exactly what an affiliate is. And it's morphed so much what an affiliate is. And basically, it's not really an affiliate channel. It's more a performance marketing, and you affiliate with people to conduct that performance marketing and pay them in a certain way. But I like that we're starting to move towards that term of performance marketing.
Yeah, I would agree. It's very difficult to explain to someone what an affiliate might be because of how many different businesses are getting into it as a way to monetize even portions of their website or newsletter or whatever it is. And that's what we've been expecting over the years, actually, is as this type of marketing becomes much more mainstream and much more understood by the affiliates as a kind of a method they can use, it's going to just continue to grow like this. So it's exciting, but also difficult.
Yeah, it's also scary because that which we don't understand, we tax. I think that's what we do. It seems like, well, gosh, those guys are making a lot of money online. We should really pay attention to that and try to tax that. I know, just recently here in Colorado, we passed legalizing marijuana. So, they saw that they could make $100 million in tax on legalizing marijuana. So I seemed like the next natural choice was to maybe attack our affiliate base.
And so it's a great transition in there, Matt, because what we're here to talk about is what's commonly known as the Amazon tax, also known as the Nexus tax. So, Brian, would you care to explain a little bit about what that is, and then we'll dive into how it'll affect the industry?
Well, sure. I believe it started somewhat innocently in the sense that states have, for as long as anyone can remember, been attempting to widen their description of what nexus is in an individual state. And nexus basically means a home base. So everyone would agree, and it's actual law, but you would agree that if you had an office, for example, in my state in Illinois, and you also had an office and maintained an office in Colorado, that you had nexus in those two states. And why nexus is important is because if you can define that nexus has been established, that means that an out-of-state retailer can be forced to collect sales tax at the time of a purchase. Now, the easiest way to think about this is actually everybody has shopped at some point, hopefully, in their lives. I'm not dating myself too much, but they've shopped from a catalog. Mm-hmm. And when you look in a catalog, if you're going to fill out the paper order form in the catalog, it'll say, okay, there are certain states of which we are forced to collect sales tax from you and certain states which they are not. Mm. And those are states in which they have sufficient nexus that they are forced to collect that tax. If, for example, a company only operated in one state, and that state was, say, Washington State, and they had no other offices anywhere across the country, and they had no other employees, and they had no other buildings anywhere, they would not have nexus in any of those 50 states. So or 49 others, I should say, none of those states would be able to compel that company to collect sales tax at the time of an online purchase. And so as states are looking at this as a bigger problem, they're saying, okay, well, how can we widen the net and say that more companies have nexus? The most common example to loop to from there is to say, okay, we don't want to allow a company to simply set up a home base in one state, but then maybe set up a subsidiary or another corporation which is very closely tied to that company and perhaps owned by that company, and they would be the ones that would have maybe stores or employees or warehouses or whatever across the country. That's where this all really started. Governments wanted to take a look at companies that had affiliated companies, they had controlled groups of corporations, all that kind of stuff. The word affiliate got in there, and of course that's the word that a lot of marketers use to describe themselves and they do in their activities online.
Mm-hmm.
And so as it expanded further, states attempted to define Nexus as any individual that linked via a website to an out-of-state company and received a commission for the orders that they basically referred through. And that, if you talk to anybody in the world of affiliate marketing, pretty much perfectly describes affiliate marketing. That's what we do. But I don't believe that it was the intention. I believe that they were just trying to cover their bases, meaning that, somebody earning a commission for selling something for an out-of-state retailer, if they did it over the phone or if they did it by paper, they wanted that to include Nexus, but they didn't want to just remove the idea of linking to a website. It would have been a loophole had they left it out. Think about an interior designer, for example, who is going to work in a certain state and possibly build out this new office or this new house. And they would buy products from out-of-state retailers, but they were really in their home state, wherever that was. And they might earn a commission from those types of places to bring that furniture into the home or business. States wanted to declare that would be sufficient nexus for the out-of-state retailers. It just so happened that we got caught in the middle because of the fact that the click-through language was utilized. At the end of the day, a state is trying to say that an affiliate marketer, somebody who's putting a link on a website, which is an advertisement, is sufficient nexus so that the state can force an out-of-state retailer to collect sales tax at the time of purchase.
And the biggest issue with that is if you have a multi-billion-dollar company, aka Amazon, and you establish a nexus for them in a state where they didn't previously have one because of this new idea of affiliates creating that nexus, then you put a substantial burden on that retailer to collect tax that, otherwise they would not have had to collect. And it makes it, a few percentage points more expensive for them across many millions of dollars of transactions. So the natural progression would be that e-tailer would just decide to not do business with those affiliates that created that nexus if the state was able to establish that. And so they're just going to sell the same widget into the state of Colorado, for example. They'll just use an out-of-state affiliate to do it. And what that does is that really stifles, if not just kills, that relationship with that affiliate. And, we've had stories of people in Colorado the last time that this bill came to pass, or actually came up to bat, I guess, in 2010. It didn't pass. But it was even mentioned, and Amazon pulled out of Colorado. So they basically said no more affiliates in Colorado. And there's stories of people losing 75% of their income over that. And so it was a very, very significant idea. And if Amazon pulls out, how many other e-tailers pull out because it's not a affiliate friendly or internet marketing friendly state? And so it reduces those affiliates' incomes. It stifles innovation. It really causes a problem for our industry if these states pass this tax.
So I have lots of questions for both of you regarding how that affects, the loss of the industry really in our state of Colorado or in other states, and what states are impacted. But I want to take a quick break and then we'll revisit that question because you shared a lot of good background information to better understand what's going on here. So if it's okay with you guys, we'll take a break and we'll be right back with Matt Frary from Smarter Chaos and Brian Littleton, CEO and founder of ShareASale.
More Chaos Makes Sense after this.
Impact Radius is revolutionizing the performance marketing industry.